Every gardener eventually reaches a moment when they realize their soil just isn't what it used to be. Maybe it has lost its crumbly texture, maybe water runs right through it, maybe plants look tired even when you fertilize. If this sounds familiar, you're closer than you think to the solution, because the richest soil-building material on the planet can be made right in your own home with nothing more than everyday kitchen scraps. I'm talking about true humus, the dark, sweet-smelling, stable organic matter that transforms lifeless dirt into productive, disease-resistant soil. Humus isn't the same as compost. Compost is the early stage. Humus is the final, fully decomposed stage where organic matter becomes chemically stable. The difference is like underripe fruit versus perfectly ripened fruit. Both are edible, but one gives you far more flavor and nutrition. Humus begins with organic matter that breaks down completely over time. Kitchen waste is perfect for this because the materials are soft, nutrient-rich, and already partially broken down by cooking or chopping. For the best results, stick to vegetable scraps, fruit peels, coffee grounds, tea leaves, crushed eggshells, stale bread, and small amounts of pasta or rice that haven't been seasoned heavily. These feed microbes without overwhelming them. A mix of carbon-rich scraps and nitrogen-rich scraps will give you the fastest breakdown. An easy approach is to simply fill a countertop bin with whatever produce waste your kitchen naturally generates each day. If you juice, cook often, or prep vegetables in bulk, you'll have more than enough material. Avoid oils, meats, cheeses, or anything greasy because these slow decomposition and attract pests. Once you have a few days' worth of scraps, you're ready for the next stage. Humus begins as compost, so you need a container or setup that allows organic matter to decay steadily. This can be a backyard compost pile, a tumbler, a plastic bin with holes drilled in the sides, or even a small raised bed you dedicate to composting. What matters most is airflow. When microbes have oxygen, they break down material more efficiently and without foul odors. A bin around 2 feet wide and 2 feet tall is enough for most households. Lay down a base layer of dried leaves, shredded cardboard, or straw. This absorbs excess moisture from kitchen waste and prevents everything from turning into a soggy mess. Then, add your collected scraps in a thin layer. Cover them with carbon material again. This layering technique encourages aerobic breakdown and keeps flies away. Over several weeks, this active composting stage begins transforming the scraps into dark, crumbly matter that looks like soil but isn't fully mature yet. To transition compost into humus, you must keep it within the ideal moisture range. Think of a wrung-out sponge, damp but not dripping. If the pile dries out, decomposition slows dramatically. If it becomes waterlogged, anaerobic bacteria take over and produce odors. A simple squeeze test tells you everything. When the mixture holds together lightly but doesn't ooze water, you've hit the sweet spot. Turning the compost every week or two introduces oxygen, which microbes need to break down materials efficiently. You'll start noticing the temperature rising inside the pile. A warm core is a sign of intense microbial activity. This heat breaks down tough fibers, kills pathogens, and speeds conversion into stable organic matter. As the pile shrinks and darkens, you're getting closer to humus, but you're not finished yet. Once the active composting stage slows, it's time to let the material rest. This curing phase is where compost transforms into humus. You'll see the difference clearly. Compost still contains small bits of identifiable material. Humus is entirely transformed, dark, fine-textured, and pleasantly earthy. No heat, no smell, and no recognizable scraps remain. This curing stage can take 4 to 8 weeks depending on temperature and the materials used. During curing, keep the pile slightly moist and protected from heavy rain. You don't need to turn it at this point. Microbes are now refining the material into something chemically stable. When you pick up a handful and it feels soft, silty, and elastic, you've achieved genuine humus. This substance doesn't break down quickly in soil. Instead, it binds nutrients, moderates moisture, and feeds plants gradually for years. Humus can be used in several ways, depending on what you want to improve. For raised beds and vegetable rows, mix 3 to 5 inches into the top 6 inches of soil. This dramatically increases soil structure and water retention. For sandy soils, humus prevents rapid drainage. For heavy clay, it creates air pockets that help roots breathe. If you're planting transplants, blend a handful of humus into each planting hole. For established perennials, spread a 1-inch layer around the base and let rain carry it downward. The effects are unmistakable. Plants root faster, stay greener, and bounce back quickly after heat stress. watering needs drop because humus retains moisture like a sponge, soil becomes softer and easier to work with, earthworms appear naturally, and over time, your entire gardening system becomes more self-sustaining. When you make humus from kitchen waste, you're not just recycling, you're rebuilding soil at the deepest level. If you enjoyed this guide and want more practical gardening knowledge, make sure to subscribe and share this with other gardeners who want to grow healthier, more productive plants using simple homegrown methods.